Hey, look, so y'all know I'm a weirdo. I just want to see if you can follow like the crazy way I think about some things. Here's some Jesus math for you. All right. We already know that God is an infinite God. I mean, he's infinitely big. He has an infinite amount of love. He doesn't even operate by the same time and space continuum that we do. On the other hand, us humans are very finite. Almost everything about us can be put to a number. I'm 31 years old. I'm about 72 inches tall. Kev on stage has 0 strands of hair on the top of his head. You know, I probably, if it came to it, I probably have like, I don't know, 350,000 sins that I've committed in my life. I don't know. But at the end of the day, when it comes to the idea of holiness or salvation, we already know where God is at. I mean, he's just straight up holiness. I mean, he invented it. He is an infinite amount of holiness and goodness and perfection. But when it comes to judging ourselves, sometimes we kind of equate holiness with a good personality, kindness, niceness, how many great inspiring albums you put out, how many other folks you helped out. You know what I'm saying? It's those things that, while they are beautiful and things that we should always do, we still judge people sometimes on earthly things. So maybe somebody like a Bishop Jakes, we look at him and be like, man, I mean, with all that charisma, with all that, this sense of morality, without Jesus, he's probably 10K. John, on the other hand, I mean, he only had a few good songs anyway. And, you know, he looked at me funny when I walked past. He's probably about a 55. And let's say somebody like Hitler or something like that, by our human standards, by the history standards, world cultural standards, especially now, looking back, he's probably like at negative 17 or something like that. Terrible. But here's the thing. Mathematically, the difference between infinity and 10K is infinity. Also, the difference between infinity and 55 is infinity. Hold on, wait a second. The difference between infinity and Hitler at negative 17 is still infinity. Meaning that from an infinite perspective, there's no difference between the great works of 10K and the terrible works of negative 17. As a matter of fact, when it comes to distance from God, your ability to deserve him, there's no point in working up to nothing. You will never deserve what he has for you. Christianity says you don't have to deserve it. It's given to you. This incredible, infinite, everlasting life, according to John 3:16, is given to believers. The gift that was grace, that was Jesus Christ on the cross. That's what allows us to get to this everlasting status, this infinite life. Please understand that even if you feel like by the world's human, even the church folks' standards, that you're killing the game at 10K, you still have a lot of room you can make for God. And on the other side, if you feel like, man, they've judged the crap out of you, they don't even like you, you're terrible, you've done horrible things that you can't even forgive yourself, please know that you're only a faith away. You're only a gift of grace away from attaining that same everlasting life as your grandma did, as somebody that you admire has. Please know, we don't act crazy because of this, but we do know who to credit when we finally get to those pearly gates, or however it looks up there. We know not to credit our great works. We know not to credit our performance levels, our goodness levels, according to our friends and the beauty of our eulogy. No, we have to credit grace. Because quite frankly, we weren't getting any closer on our own.